But so have you been looking for new Phillies merch lately?
I actually have. I feel like I'm running low on t-shirts.
All right. Well, since you are, you and the other Phillies fans should head over to phillygoat.com to get your Philly Goat merch and use the code BTVPod for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat. And as always, go Phils.
Beyond the Bank, we're talking baseball. Beyond the Bank, may we make takes, Beyond the Bank, Phillies fever, catch it now. Bleeding red is hell. Beyond the Bank.
And welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast. I'm your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
The day I'd like to forget. A game I'd like to forget, I should say.
I mean, we're going to have to forget it because we're right back at it, tomorrow. And, there's no time to harp,
right.
No pun intended.
Say, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I guess first things first, hope everybody had a good holiday weekend, had a safe 4th of July. It was a long weekend for me. I'm still trying to...
Hopefully everybody still has all their fingers.
Yes, hopefully so. Did you catch any fireworks? Because I did not, actually.
I did not.
Me.
I worked all weekend except for today.
That's right. Okay, yeah, you did say that. Yeah. Okay.
So I've been exhausted, man. I've been exhausted.
It's like that,
absolutely
man.
Nothing. Like me and Gabby went out to eat at like one of our favorite spots.
Right.
Did some wedding stuff.
Okay.
Just chilled out. It was what I needed. I did nothing today.
No, I hear you.
The bar didn't even have a game on.
Yeah, where was that bar at?
It's in Philly. They had the World Cup games on, which I don't care. I mean, dude, we were losing like 12-1 already. It just like the game was already well over. Like it was Schwarber had already been tossed. Everything had already happened. It was just
yeah, but I'm sorry. I still want the game on. I sit through painful losses and
see, like I would if it was a little closer, I probably would have. Like I was following on my phone, kind of, but.
Right.
If it was a little closer, I would have been like, "Oh, can you switch TV?" They only have like 2 TVs in there. Like it wasn't like a big bar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, whatever. I don't know. I don't agree with it, but what is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it, right? Let's talk about this series. So as people know, we lose 2 of 3 to the Kansas City Royals. Obviously, the Royals are not good this year, but I mean they still have some big name players on the team. But I think when we look back at this series, it has a lot more to do with how the Phillies operated. I feel like just, offensively, defensively, obviously, when you saw from today's game. And I just think it's one of those things right now where like, we know that we're getting closer to the All-Star break, obviously. And you're kind of hoping that they're, I don't know, just not like sleepwalking, I guess, towards it. And I just think it's one of those series that like it is annoying, yes, but again, we're saying before the pod, it's like you really just can't be reactionary to every single loss. Like today was a really bad loss. Don't get me wrong, an unacceptable one.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying obviously don't get mad about it or whatever, but like let's again for the
year's not over.
Time, let's stop acting like it's the season ends or whatever. Like it's one of those things that it's just like very annoying for sure.
Definitely. No, I agree. It's just like we used to be those guys. It's just exhausting.
Well, yeah,
it gets exhausting.
And you won't enjoy it.
We never ever said like the year's over, but like,
right.
Like, dude, for years when we were bad,
right.
That's exactly how I was. It's just exhausting. It's exhausting. It's a long, dude, this season is not, baseball season isn't built for the week. Like, it's 162 games. Like, it's a lot.
It is.
It's 175 plus with spring training and everything else. Like,
right.
It's no joke. Like, this is not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. At least not to us. But
no, yeah.
So yeah, like I said,
I'm just saying, like, it's such a long season. People are so used to. See, that's the problem. Like, people are so used to like football and stuff. I think.
Yeah.
One loss means so much. One win means so much. Mm-hmm. But it's funny when we win a game, the season's never back on.
you got to look at it from both sides though too, right? Like, you can't get mad when they lose. You can't get too high when they win. So it's just that type of thing. You got to kind of like, juggle, I guess. So yeah, like I said before, lost 2 of 3. They got the win on Saturday night on 4th of July. Luzardo pitched a really good game. Had like 9 strikeouts, I'm pretty sure. Offense was scoring some runs. Alec Boehm had a good game. And then Saturday, Aaron Nola actually pitched pretty decent, surprisingly enough. We asked again, we were talking about before, just giving us 5 decent innings, and he went more than that. I'm pretty sure he went 7 innings, if I'm not mistaken. And then, the offense just really couldn't back him up. So it was just, one of those, one thing or the other for that game. And then they just kind of screwed up late as well. And then today, obviously not too many positives to take away from. 15-1 loss. Sanchez really just had one of his probably most terrible starts in his career. And just surprisingly so, it started early on too. So, but I guess really we'll just get right to it. But what are some of your takeaways and thoughts just from the series in general?
That this Aaron Nola roller coaster, it will be the death of me.
Right. Okay.
I've said it before already. It's gonna be bad, man.
Yeah.
He's in like a 7th inning. I'm like, Nola is back.
Right.
Then the next game he'll give up like 6 runs in 3 innings.
Yeah.
He's killing me. I love him though. I can't. I was here at home at like a family barbecue or whatever, and Nola was still in the 6th. And my uncle goes, "Man, is that Nola?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, what did they bring him in from the bullpen?" I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, I'm just so not used to seeing him in the 6th inning at this point." I was like, "I know." I was like, "It's kind of brutal."
Yeah, for sure.
He's been bad, but the first couple innings, like you text me, like watching Nola is just terrible, and like it is rough, but it's kind of with the whole Painter thing that we kind of discussed before. If he gives up 2 runs in the first inning, you're like, "Oh no, this is gonna be a long day." But then if he settles in and doesn't give up, and maybe gives up 1 run across the next 4 or 5 innings, that's a solid outing to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Second takeaway, I don't know what's going on with Trey's defense. Because today, when that inning blew up after that, I'm more comfortable with a ball getting hit directly or getting hit completely to the opposite side of Trey Turner, as opposed to a ball getting hit right to him. Or I'd rather Stott, like in today's game, I'd rather him screw up the throw so Turner has to make a good play, because he seems to make all those, but he can't just make a routine play. And how long have we harped on people's defense? This team defensively has been atrocious outside of Stott, and but the infield, I should say.
Yeah,
outside of Stott, the infield defense has been awful.
Yeah, and it's been awful a lot when Sanchez is on the mound too.
Yes,
which is very annoying.
100%.
Very, very annoying. It's unfortunate. I'm not taking I'm not fully putting blame on them. Sanchez pitched bad today, I know. The pitches just weren't there, and he admitted it himself, I know. But he gets out of the inning if Trey just makes a simple play, man. Just a simple play. It's really just that simple. Really.
Yeah. And that's the tough part about today's game is if he makes the play, the inning's over. I get that part. However, they looked like he said today, his outing was terrible. They were all over him today. They were all over the ball today. So it's kind of you can't say that Trey lost the game, but he definitely didn't help. You know what I mean? But it's good to see Boehm producing at a high level. That's more so my next point. He's getting the RBIs. He's looking solid. I have a small feeling, I don't know why, that if he's playing just well enough, they're going to trade him at the deadline.
Wow.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think it's a possibility?
I don't.
Really?
I don't.
Why not? Do you think they just...
I mean, dude, if they haven't traded him up until this point after the last couple of years, then they're just never going to do it. I'm fully convinced. So
Yeah, but he's arguably better at this deadline than he ever has been. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he gets good enough to where they can get a decent price, they might just offload him. Pause. That was
Yeah, I don't know.
offload him is crazy.
I'm just at this point. It's just like I'm really just like exhausted when it comes to the whole Bohm thing. At this point, like at this point, like I just like whatever he gives us offensively and whatever. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like it's great to see. I guess good for him. But I mean, I've been wanting him off this team for like 2 years now, and you know that. And I just still don't understand how he gets this many chances. But it is what it is. And you know, especially today, I brought up a good point where like I understand that like he's been hitting the ball well. He started off the game today in the first inning, you know, driving the run, which was great or whatever. That's awesome. But then the very next inning, you know, when we're trying to get back into this game and you have bases loaded, this is where I want to see him take that next step because I haven't seen a lot of moments where it's like the chips are on the table. You know, it's you got to come up big. You know, we got to get back in this game. We need you to, you know, driving some runs, and he grounds into another, you know, just throw to first base. Like it's just another ground out. Like I just it's always that stuff from him that I'm getting.
It's getting tiring for sure.
It is. It gets very exhausting when people shout and tell me that he's supposed to be this guy pulling the ball, driving RBIs, and I know he does here and there, but it's just not consistent for my liking, especially for a guy who's going to be hitting in the cleanup spot behind Bryce Harper. So again, I mean,
it's been Marsh, but they
no, it has been for sure. Yeah.
But to your point, like I texted you today, you were like, I don't care what he did last inning. And I was like, last inning doesn't matter. When you come up with bases loaded, last inning doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you hit like a 3-run home run and it's like Bohm did his job for the day. Like, he scored a run. I no arguing that. But it doesn't excuse him from not producing when the bases are loaded. Now, granted, it's 2 outs, whatever. It's not like he hit into a double play like he loves to do. But again, no excuse. Just pull the ball down the line.
Right.
Just hit for some contact. You're not going to hit for power. That's not who you are. I don't know. What were some of your takeaways? I'm curious to hear these.
Yeah, so my first one here, they need to start getting 2-out hits. Like they got to get better at that, and that's definitely one thing that's kind of stood out so far throughout the year, and what they've struggled with, I guess, for a while now is just getting the big 2-out hits. You know, and again, today showed, right? Obviously, they get bases loaded, back-to-back innings with 2 outs, right? Like you just got to get the big hit. Like that's just, you know, it's how it's got to go. And the Royals were doing that, and that's why the Royals won today because they were getting big out hits. So it's just something they got to get better at. Fix the errors. Right. You know, we just talked about a little bit. Like just figure it out. I just you gotta make a simple routine double play. You know, I know we bag on him a lot, but Stocker was talking about it post game, but or somebody was talking about post game. I forget who it was, but they are always saying that like it feels like they can never easily make double plays, like, you know, like consistently enough where it's just we say it all the time.
Like I said.
Yeah.
We've said it for years. Defense has been a flaw of this organization for years.
Right. Yeah, fix the errors. I don't know. Like you gotta do something about it. And then my last takeaway, we can say they need the break, and that's fine if they do. I understand, like it's, you know, it's getting, you know, to the grueling part of the season, you know, almost to that point midway, I guess. But that doesn't mean limp into the break. And obviously we saw what happened 2 years ago. You know, at that athletics game or whatever, going into the
I was just about to say that was 2 years ago, right?
It was, yes.
That was a rough pod.
Yeah, and I try not to think about that too much, right? Because obviously I feel like there are parts of the team that are different than that squad, obviously. Not a lot, but a little bit at least. But again, I just like that's fine if you need the break, but just, you know, you got to go in with some momentum here, and especially playing some teams that are well under the 500 mark in the league. It's just like you gotta set a tone, you know, going into this whole break, in my opinion.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And I mean, you mentioned it. That break 2 years ago, man, that was rough. Didn't we lose like 18-1? Lawrence Butler hit like 3 home runs that game.
Yes.
That was brutal.
It was very brutal. Very brutal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they were all like upper deck shots.
No, it was so bad. All right, so
Like, I can picture what he looked like right now. Like, that's
know.
how, like, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Bring
All
up past
right,
trauma, but here we are.
I know. All right, so real quick, let's get into the question of the day. What it has to do with, we didn't get talked about last week because it did happen last week during the Pirates series or whatever. But I felt like it was appropriate to talk about just because it was a big headline after the one game. So my question of the day is, did you agree with Don Mattingly pulling Zach Wheeler at 104 pitches in his last start?
Point blank period. Yes. Yes, I was. I was perfectly fine with it. Because, and I know Zach Wheeler felt some kind of way about it, and that's essentially why we're talking about it.
Right.
Because they asked him, oh, I don't know what the exact question was. Oh, like, how'd you feel about getting pulled? And he's like, yeah, I didn't like it. He's like, if you talk to Don, he said no. He's like, when will you? I don't know. Like, it was very short, quick, and he was mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a spring chicken anymore. He's coming off thoracic outlet syndrome. Like, that's not something that athletes just bounce back from. And it's especially not something athletes bounce back from the way he has. He's going to be the comeback player of the year. No question about it. No question about it. I don't think. I mean, I don't know what his odds are and all that stuff, but dude, like, what he went through isn't just like some baseball injury. It's a life injury. Like, but some people aren't the same at all. Like, doing regular jobs, let alone throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour. So, while saying that, I do think he's, whatever, like, he shouldn't be that mad, but I love that he's that mad. I love it. I love it. Because just like Don Mattingly said, he said the great, and shout out to him. I may have been wrong about the whole firing the manager is not the answer thing, because they're like one of the best teams in baseball since they did that.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked about it, and he said the greats never want to come out. I can't blame him. What am I going to do? Say, oh, why are you mad you have to come out? He was like, I have to preserve this guy for the long term.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what a manager does. And I love that answer, because Rob Thompson would have been like, oh, well, we'll handle that internally. That was going to be the answer if you asked Rob Thompson that question.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see that being his type of answer. Yeah, I honestly, like, I don't know. You obviously don't want to hear your star pitcher, I guess, saying like feeling that way, I guess, like after a game like that. And like I get his frustration, right? And I get Don's, decision or whatever.
It was
and,
like the fifth inning or whatever. Like,
yeah,
come on.
and I mean, like, that's the thing we've talked about so much about since Wheeler's gotten back with the high pitch count or whatever, and obviously not tiring him out and all that other stuff. Now, and I do agree with some people's points where they talked about, like, he deserves that, right? Like, he's worked for that. I mean, he's a vet in this league. He's done a lot of things good. You can really trust him to get through some of these situations, and to a certain extent, I understand where he's coming from. Like, he does deserve to, if he is in some type of jam, we could trust him to get out of it. And I understand his pitch count is high, right?
Absolutely.
And we have debated about decisions made where they pulled him too early, right? I mean, they did it in one of the biggest games, in the World Series in 2022, where they pulled him and look what happened. I'm not comparing it to that. I'm not comparing it to that.
Necessary?
No, it wasn't necessary. But I'm using it as but listen, I'm using it as an example though, because it's. I mean, come on now.
I get it.
So when it comes to aspect, I just like that. That's where I'm at, I guess, and it just is one of those things where I don't think it will like tear apart the clubhouse. Like it's not like that's where people were like taking it or whatever. Like, oh, Wheeler, don't ruin the clubhouse vibe. Like that's not gonna happen. Like all those players in there love that guy and have respect for him. So I doubt that would happen.
If he was the 100%, if he was the kind of guy that would divide clubhouse over something like that, they wouldn't have signed him to an extension. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's like punted a puppy or something. Like, this guy didn't do much wrong. Like, he's just competitively mad. He's not like, I hate this guy, I want him out. He's just competitively mad. And I don't blame Don for taking him out. And I don't blame Wheeler for being mad about it.
And all right, so moving off that for a little bit, let's talk about some positive things. So obviously, yes, some people have saw over the weekend. Some Phillies were selected to the All-Star game, and very exciting stuff. Obviously, as fans or whatever to see. So I'm going to list them out here, and then we can discuss a little bit. So Brandon Marsh, his first career selection, and he's going to be starting in the game. So pretty exciting stuff for him, getting that first career selection, and now he's also going to be a starter for the game. That's really awesome to see for him. Kyle Schwarber, fourth career selection for him. Bryce Harper, ninth career selection for him. And then Johan Duran, his first career selection. Obviously, we've been seeing what Duran has been doing this year, deservingly so for him. And then Christopher Sanchez, second career selection for him as well. Really happy for all those guys. Very exciting that they will be playing in their hometown or home stadium, I should say. And unfortunate that a guy like Zach Wheeler didn't get selected. Definitely got snubbed, in my opinion. But what are some of your takeaways from the selections?
So maybe you could explain this to me. How does Stottenbohm not make the team? Like voting wise, because they moved on to the next round. How does that work?
That is a good question.
Like, I'm not saying they got snubbed or whatever, but like they moved on to the next round.
Yeah.
And then now they're off the roster completely. Like, what? How does that balance out? It doesn't make any sense to me. I think Bryce Terang got really, really snubbed. He's really good. Like, really good. And if you look at his numbers, it all bears out. Like, I think him and Stott are like, and obviously Stott didn't get it or whatever, but like, he was a finalist, and the guy's still like, he's better than Stott in every category except for one, and it's tied. Their games played. Like, he's better at everything. So it's not like I just want all the Phillies. Like, nah, I think the system's broken. I hate it. I'm glad Duran made an all-star team, because it's funny. Back when we did him for our Philly of the Week, when we had the same one, I started thinking to myself then, I was like, he's been on a nice little run here. Like, he has some streaks going, some minimum face batter streaks going. I was like, I wonder what it's going to take for him to be an all-star, because you hadn't really heard about much of the relievers, because we weren't allowed to vote on the pitching. Fan vote didn't go by the pitching. So I was wondering like what that situation kind of looked like, and for him to be named was really cool. The other thing that is hilarious to me is that Shohei got less player votes than Kyle Schwarber, but somehow is the starter.
Yeah.
Or is the top vote getter, so he's automatically a starter. That's a joke to me. I'm sorry.
I definitely agree. And who knows? I mean, obviously Ohtani is apparently dealing with some injury, so he might not even pitch. And then who knows? Maybe he'll start, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Schwarber will fill in. Who knows? But I mean, it's definitely a weird way they run the whole system and the whole voting thing, like the whole voting thing. And like with Bohm, Stott, like it's all just very weird. But I listen, besides all that though, I am grateful that we'll get to see some of our guys there, and it's gonna be a really fun couple of days. I was telling you earlier that I'm going to be going to the All-Star Village one of those days, so I'm pretty excited for that. So there'll be some legends there, some Phillies legends. So should be a good time. Should be a fun couple of days, and I can't wait. Oh, and also, I don't know if I said it last pod. I don't think I did, but it was announced that I'm pretty sure Gage Wood is going to be at the Futures game on that Sunday.
Yep.
So that should be
$11 a ticket.
Yeah, might make my way out there, man. I don't know.
Dude, that would be pretty cool. Did you see the I think he's Japanese, the guy we just signed recently?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that today. No hitters. No hitters,
but hey, don't worry. We got pitching though. Don't worry. So all right. So before we get out of here, obviously we're dealing with some technical difficulties again tonight, so won't go too much longer here. But Phillies on this day, history fact I got for us today. Very interesting one, very interesting name to say the least. So on this day in 2019, Jay Bruce goes deep twice against the Mets, giving him 10 home runs as a Philly. He also had 14 home runs before being traded by Seattle. According to stats, he was the first player to hit 10 or more home run for 2 teams before the All-Star break.
Jay Bruce. What a guy, man.
Telling you, man. Telling you.
Dude, him and Brad Miller were just like, I thought they were so similar, but Jay Bruce was a little bit bulkier, but still. Dude,
Right.
Amazing. What a game. That was a legacy game, man. I remember that.
I mean, listen, I remember witnessing a Jay Bruce walk-off.
Ugh.
So, I saw it live.
Yeah, right. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and the other 10 people in the stadium.
Right. What a time, bro. What a time. We're back at it tomorrow night, or I should say tonight, against Cincinnati Reds. 3-game series out there. I think Zach Wheeler's on the mound for the first game, and we will probably be back after that. I'm not sure. It's obviously leading up to the All-Star break now. It is just back-to-back series. So whenever we can, we'll let you guys know and go from there. So you got anything else, though?
On to Cincinnati. Go Phils.
On to Cincinnati. Go Phils. Peace.